Morning, everyone. Welcome to the dog days of summer. Welcome back to Jesse's Occupational Awareness Show. I'm your host, Jesse. I was just walking around outside a little bit, took some garbage out, walked down to the end of the street, and it's about 10:40 in the morning right now. It's already over 90 some odd degrees outside. The sun has just been leaning on us this last 2 weeks here on the East Coast. And I know it has many other parts of the country. So that gave me an idea. Actually, I thought about this earlier in the week. Gave me an idea for another TDC topic. We're going to talk about the heat that goes on inside some of these buildings. What originally gave me the idea for it, every 6 months to maintain gun qualifications in the Coast Guard, you have to go to the range and you have to shoot certain strings of fire. We fire the .40 caliber Sig Sauer pistol, the M4A1 assault rifle, as well as the .870 Remington shotgun. Every 6 months we go and we shoot different courses, different strings of fire, and that maintains our ability to carry these firearms. Now, as an instructor, I'm removed from the search and rescue, we call it SAR, and the law enforcement community. However, at the base, we do have a recallable armed security detachment to help support the civilian contracted security in the event that we're needed. I am part of that. So, as per those requirements, I have to go every 6 months. Most ranges that I've been going to shooting ranges practically my whole life since I was old enough to carry a pistol. With my parents, of course, as a minor. Most of these ranges are outside, and they're usually identifiable by the big, huge dirt mound at the end of it, which is where you stage the targets up. The dirt mound is used as the bullet stop. Nothing stops a bullet better than dirt, okay? Typically, these outdoor ranges, they're in the wasteland. You're exposed to whatever elements are out there that day. Rain, snow, sleet, sun, nice, pretty, beautiful day. You don't get to pick your environment. You also don't get to pick it when the gunfight starts with the bad guy. So, I've been to a few commercial ranges. These were more so just to go see what it was all about, practice with my own personal firearms. They're usually more expensive to attend, and they're very well climate controlled. It's cool inside, air conditioned, heat in the summer, not bad. All right. This range here that we have on base is a state-of-the-art indoor range. Big indoor facility. I was pretty excited to go to it. Classroom, where we do some of our classroom instruction, nice and air conditioned. And then you walk inside the range. Folks, it was bad. All right. No air conditioning. It has to have ventilation. Okay. When you fire off a bullet, gunpowder explodes. You can't see it, but it's there. It contains lead. Lead is poisonous, causes cancer. So there has to be ventilation inside it. There's these big, huge fans back behind us that draw outside air into the facility. A string of other fans in the ceilings, they draw that air back out. When it's 101 degrees outside, that's the air that's being drawn into it. Get inside your vehicle, roll the windows down, and drive. That's what it was like. Except roll up the window in the passenger side. Don't let it vent out. At some point, the thermometer inside the range said 107 degrees. And no circulation. We're wearing body armor, hearing protection. Fire, it was bad. Couldn't drink enough water. It's just dreadful. And I was hanging back with my buddy Scrag. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching. And he asked me, man, was it like this in the penitentiary? And I said, all we need is a couple of hoe-ass inmates in here, and yeah, it would be just like that. The closest flashback that I'd actually had to physically being in Styles again from the last 8 years now, I guess it's been. So I said, I'm going to do my next topic on that. So everything went well, certified, qualified, just had to really stay hydrated. So the heat inside the TDC buildings, is it as bad as people say? Hydrate them. As someone who experienced it firsthand, absolutely yes. I can't speak for any of the other 121 facilities that are in Texas. I can only speak for the Styles. Certain parts of it did have air conditioning. The warden's area, the admin buildings, the infirmary, 11 building, which was the med segregation hold, 12 building segregation, medical, I think I already said that, mail room, what else? I think that was about it. I don't know about the chapel. Oh, I wasn't in there. I know what was not air conditioned was any of the chow halls, the back kitchen area where the food was prepared, the laundry facility, any of the general population buildings, 8 building, 3 building, 4 building, the dorms. I need to do a video on the dorms. Those were an entity all unto themselves. Just hot metal concrete buildings. The air conditioning worked in seg most of the time. Usually it'd run for about half a day and then it would shut down. So it kind of came and went in cycles. It'd be cool inside and then it would just get hot. And then it just cycled itself out. It was never a straight cool ambient temperature. Okay. I'll go on a limb here and you can pick it apart if you want to. I don't care, it's my channel. I think one of the number one reasons for the turnover rate at TDC is the heat that gets in these buildings. I'm pretty sure, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the highest turnover rate is in these months right here. July, August, I'm not so sure about June, September, okay? It's bad. So, brand new rookie CO, goes through the academy, graduates, all the pomp and circumstance at the graduation, cool, they're gonna save Texas. All right, they put on that brand new shiny uniform. It's all nice and starched up, pressed, good and stiff. Go through the little FTO phase, and then they get assigned to 8 building, and they walk right in. When that green door rolls, and you step in, and that green door closes behind you, folks, it's like opening the door to the oven. Put your oven on about 400 degrees, let it heat up, open the door. That's about what it was like. You step in there and that heat just hits you right in the face. The smell of them stanky ass inmates just waffles you. The sweat, lack of clothes being washed properly, just bad. You get in, the door closes behind you, and the heat is just there. Now, they claimed that there was climate control in these buildings. For those of you that are old enough to know what an attic fan is, it's a big fan that's inside the ceiling, the roof, and instead of blowing air down, it draws the air up. It's designed to draw the air inside the room up out. That was the predecessor to the modern air conditionings that we have. They still exist, I think maybe in like the northern areas or really older houses that still had them. They had a thing like that, but there ain't no way you're drawing enough air out of a 3-story concrete metal building with a minimum of 84 human beings inside of it to make it comfortable. So, instead of having air conditioning, TDC would put in box fans. The big industrial circle fans with the wheels on them. You might remember them from gym class in high school or industrial shops. They make a ton of noise. They do blow air, but when it gets so hot, that air that they're blowing, it may as well be air from a hairdryer. It's not cool. The fans are loud. They make it hard for you to talk, and inmates use that to their advantage. They'll create a distraction. They'll use that noise, get the CO distracted, get you looking over, and they'll do whatever kind of shady ass dirty business they need to do, and go on about it. So, yeah, there wasn't a one time ever you would leave work in the summertime, a lot of times the winter too, that you weren't just absolutely covered in sweat. And you ain't done a bit of fucking labor. All you did was walk around, count inmates, listen to their damn sob stories, get yelled at, get shit thrown at you. You're not shoveling dirt or hanging drywall. You know, there was no manual labor in the CO spectrum. But the heat inside those buildings, my God. That's where I was going with the original story. New CO, brand new, walks in. I can't tell you how many times, actually, there weren't very many times that I did work general population, but it did apply to SEG a lot of times. Guys wouldn't come back. I can't tell you the times that a new CO would walk inside Gen Pop. We'd hear about it and turn out. We'd kind of laugh at it. We'd walk inside the door at Gen Pop. The door would close. They'd walk in. Inmates would turn and zero in on them. They would turn around, walk back to that door, and start banging on it until the picket boss opened it. Picket boss would roll the door. OJT would walk out. Door would start to roll, and the inmates would just start slapping hands, grabbing ass, hooting and hollering. They knew they had got another one, and they didn't even have to do anything except just let the heat get to them. Walk off. Didn't even last 2 minutes inside the freaking facility. So these are tough times for the individuals that are manning TDC. I even feel for the sorry ass inmates that are in there. They're still human beings. Yeah. They suffer more than anybody. They can't go anywhere. The thing with them though, they acclimate to it. That's all they know. That's all they're exposed to. The body will adapt to it. Us, we left. We went home. We get back in the air conditioning. So it was a constant on-off acclimation cycle. You never got used to it. Drink as much water as we could. Hell, there were times I'd dump the bottle. I'd make my rounds in SEG, and when I get back to the little metal table there by the picket, where I'd keep my water bottle, I'd just dump the water on top of me. You're already covered in sweat. It didn't matter. Wasn't going to hurt anything. Kind of wash you off a little bit. There's been so many talks, more so on Facebook, about, well, why doesn't air conditioning get installed? The number one reason is cost. Okay, guaranteed. One other reason is cost. People will say inmates can use the air ducts to escape, that they'll use them as escape routes. These are people that have seen Die Hard, the scene where Bruce Willis is crawling through the venting. He flicks the lighter, says what he says, goes on from there. You could already see him through the ambient light that the cameras had already set up. Number one, it's going to be pitch black in there. If you got an attic in your house, go open that attic, shut the hatch. It's about what it's going to look like in there, with no louviers to let any kind of light in. So it's going to be pitch black. They're not going to have a diagram to know where to go. They're going to have to root around in it. Plus, these vents, they're not like what you see in the movies. They're thin metal. They're designed to let airflow go through them. In architecture, they have things known as weight bearing, load limits. These don't apply to air ducts. They're simply there, usually hung up with wires from the ceilings, if that. Human crawls up in that, they're going to fall right through. So I don't buy the whole inmates can use it as an escape route. They would tinker with them, they would jack with them, they would break them. This happens in the facilities that are fully air conditioned. I've heard that all the state jail facilities, Gist Unit, LeBlanc, they're in Beaumont. I've heard that those facilities are completely air conditioned. But the maximum securities, nope. No. Usually the pickets would be air conditioned. A lot of times that AC would go out. And AC was not a priority unit. It wasn't like the locksmith. So the HVAC was usually the last priority to get to. So those of you that are working there, man, I feel for you guys. I hope y'all make it. I hope y'all stay safe. Man, keep an eye on each other. This is a time that tempers flare and riots start. Inmates get more pissy with each other and COs and take out little petty shit. The small things, they start to become major things when those attitudes get raising. So, man, take care of you guys' health. Those of you that have walked those halls and are no longer there, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You veteran COs that say that we're weak, we couldn't hack it, hey, good on you. Congratulations, man. I'm glad you were able to make it through. You know, good stuff. And hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. I love all of y'all, man. Bitches. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out here. I think I pretty much beat the dead horse. Stay safe. I feel for you guys' electricity bill. I'm not even going to say what mine is. I like to keep a nice, cool house. So, yeah. Everyone stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Stay out of this heat. Appreciate every one of you. See y'all in the next video.